Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your power rankings for week 5. Ladies and gentlemen, very, very crucial week that just happened here. Brought to you by Starbucks Italian Roast. Delicious, refreshing, and also very smooth. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Common theme this year. There is one central theme this year. Top points don't equal wins. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. We have our 2 top point getters at a cumulative record of 3 and 7. 3 and 7 are 2 top point getters at 3 and 7. It is absolutely tremendous that these people have gotten this. Hazel, keep it down for a second. Okay, here we go. Highlights from week 5. Bam. Hit them with the 0-4s get their first victory. We have a I don't even know how to say this. No one's defeated anymore. Everybody's got a victory. 0-4s. We had a 12-1 victory, aka Kamish coming back in the ball game. All right, and we had an 11-7 victory. That's how you take care of it. Don't count anyone out. Don't take anyone for granted. Okay. That's what we're talking about. 3 versus 5, you would expect that to be, these were up-and-comer players. What an absolute dud of a game. Terrible game, 65-64. No one wanted to watch that. It was on like UPN 65 or something. There was a terrible game. They changed it over there. Todd Father 2, I'm going to tell you the highlights from this week. Todd Father 2 and Collins Juju, I came away with those teams are going to be tough this year. Those teams are very, very, very adequate teams. They're going to make and put some damage on some people throughout the year. Do not let that slip. Okay, do not let it slip. Now on to your favorite time of the week, baby. Power rankings for week 5. Power rankings this week is with tiers. We have the tiers set. They're not crucial yet, but you don't want to be slipping into that bottom tier. Absolutely not. There are 3 tiers this week. They are, it is totally biased based on the guy making the videos. So suck it up if you don't like the tiers. If you don't like the power rankings, cry about it. Cry about it to your mama. Cry about it to your daddy, your grandma. Who cares? Nobody cares. You don't like it? Cry about it. How the power rankings are done. Starting lineups is number 1. I look at your starting lineup. Who are your best starters, okay? Number 2 is, are you actually producing week to week? Your points forced, all right? I like that, okay? I want to see points forced. Now, some of you, this is going to be the dangerous here. Points forced versus standings. It's going to be a toss-up because standings is 3rd in the list. It does factor in, but not as much. But some of you are just slipping so far in the standings, even though you have a ton of points forced. I'm looking at all 3 together in that order. That's how I get it done. Hazel's having a good time over there. Your tiers this week, based on life milestones in honor of our friend, Mackenzie Mummy, who's still awaiting baby. Hiya! You hear that baby in the background? Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Can I get that any louder? I can't. Number 1! In the number 1 tier, aka the baby tier, having a baby, that's the number 1 tier for life milestones. Number 1 is the Todd Father, my wife, the one that gave birth to my baby, Hazel May Crouch over there. Todd Father, 475 points. She looks nasty. And the missing piece on your team, this is what I'm going to go with. Missing piece this week. The missing piece on her team is a solid number 2 running back or a flex position. Solid number 2 flex position. Number 2 in the baby tier. Number 2 overall and number 2 in the baby tier. Instant Kamara, the one that helped get my wife to be a baby, to be in the baby. There you go, baby tier, 476. Also, number 2 running back is his missing piece. But he's got the sleeping giant is awaking. Le'Veon Bell is sitting there licking his chops. Ooh, what could I be doing for these Steelers this week? Here we go. Babies. Number 3, Phelan Thielen. The one that had the baby for her baby, had another baby. That was me. Phelan Thielen, 494 points. She has been absolutely rock solid this year. I haven't been able to get her in the number 1. I still think there's some holes on her team. Again, missing piece, number 2 running back, okay? There's a common theme with the people in the top tier. Number 2 running backs. You have everything else churning. Hazel is freaking out, y'all. And then we are on to the last one in the top tier, in the baby. Because it's great to have a baby, but it doesn't maybe last. Because then they act crazy, and then you got to pay for their wedding, and they're expensive, and maybe they're overrated. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, number 4, Johnsonville Brats. At number 4, the last in the first tier, 471 points. His biggest weakness, it's unbelievable, is his defense. He's got Cowboys defense. The fact that he has Cowboys defense on his team is appalling. There's better defenses on the waiver wire, okay? He's got running backs. All those people needing a number 2 running back up that I just mentioned, he's got them. Now on to the second tier. The second tier at number 5. Before we get there, the tier is called the marriage tier. Why? Because it should be the number 1 tier, because that's what we should care about, marriage more than babies. But no one does. I don't know why. But it's tougher than you think too. It's tough to be in this tier. It's a tough grind. It's a long haul stay to be in this tier. Now, number 5. So good it hurts. He's the most confusing team in this whole league. Putting up the most points at 513. His biggest weakness is his running back lineup. I can't figure it out. He needs to have a stable set of running backs. His flex position as well. Number 6 in the second tier is a guy that's never going to get married. Collins Juju. Okay, here we go. 415 points. I think he's steadily climbing up the ladder. He's experiencing what it needs to happen in fantasy football. 415 points. Wide receiver depth is his big option. He also has a free agent on his roster. A guy that's not even playing football. Doesn't even have a contract. He's on his roster. Get him off your roster right now. Okay, here we go. Number 7, Febreze Air Freshener. A guy that I really believed in a couple of weeks ago. Has really taken a little bit of a turn, but I'm keeping him in that second tier. 468. He's got a really good team. Flex. He's got to get his flex position to be a solid, crucial point here. Number 8, rolling with my homies. 442 points. Running back. In 2 weeks, this man will have no good running backs on his roster, and he's going to look around and wonder, what happened to my team? This guy's got to make some moves. I'm looking at you, Derek. That's the trade I can see happening soon. They've already made one. Here we go with another. Last one in this tier, in the marriage tier. A guy I just feel terrible for. Newton's Laws of Motion. 510 points. He's 9th. He's got the second highest point total. His running backs are terrible. He needs running back depth. He needs a starter. He needs a guy that just, gives him that boost, that lift, that stable workhorse in the back. Running backs, marriage tier. It's a good place to stop because we're on to the last tier, which is, in life milestones, it's death. Death is, let's just be honest, death is a tier coming for all of us, okay? It wins every time. Death happens. Sometimes it's good because there's finality to life, Maybe you just toss it in, you throw it away and say, hey, my team sucks. Or maybe there's life after death. Like a resurrection coming, ladies and gentlemen. A resurrection at number 10. Off to the races. He started 0-4, and now he's coming back. He's still got the fewest points at 354. And his flex spot is his worst spot. But he's going to figure it out. Either David Funchess, Chris Thompson. He's got a lot of players there that he can fit into that flex spot. But his team is looking right on line, on trajectory now for climbing the ladder. Okay? Number 10 is off to the races. Number 11 in the death race. Okay? In the life milestone tier. This team sucks, okay? This team is terrible. I've said it week after week. He's not listening to me. I'm Watkins on sunshine. 415 points. He needs wide receivers. He needs a flex position. He needs something good. And when I say death, this might be the nail in the coffin, ladies and gentlemen. This week might be the nail in the coffin. Number 12, Every Day I'm Rustling. Terrible. She's really bad. She's just as bad as the rest of the people in the death conference or in the death tier. 392 points. She does not have consistent running backs or wide receivers. Let me say that again. She does not have consistent running backs or wide receivers. The two most important things in a freaking team, okay? Here we go. Getting real. Tiers are here to stay. Tiers are going to be starting to separate, maybe even 4 or 5 tiers some weeks, okay? Make sure you get in that top tier. Make sure you're fighting for that top tier. Bold predictions. The commish has gone down a tailspin in bold predictions. He's 2-3 this year in bold predictions. He's predicting rolling with Mahomes over Thielen this week. He does believe the matchups there are working. This might be the last time he has rolling with Mahomes in an upset because James Conner is going to start to be pushed away. All of his players might be pushed away. And then he has a second bold prediction. Listen carefully, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, if you've gotten to this 11-minute mark, thank you, number one. Number two, the weirdest bold prediction the commish has ever made. He's got, I'm Watkins on Sunshine, not winning the rest of the year. Doesn't win one more game. That would equal 7 wins in the commission's bold prediction category, okay? 7 wins. So he's predicting an absolute 7 more games in a row that I'm Watkins on Sunshine does not win. Do you understand how difficult this prediction makes him feel? It doesn't make him feel bad at all because he doesn't like I'm Watkins on Sunshine. That team stinks, okay? He's predicting that Ezekiel Elliott either gets hurt, something happens, and he has nobody on his team. Pay attention. I get 7 wins if I come up with this correctly. If he wins one game, it's all by the wayside. But that's his big, bold prediction from this week on. I love every single one of you except I'm Watkins on Sunshine. Signing off, Commish.